It's Wednesday. You know what that means. It's time for Randy's Guitar Attic on YouTube. So sit back for the next hour and talk guitars and much, much more. So here's your host, Randy. Oh, we do that again. Oh, boy. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. It's time for Randy's Guitar Attic on YouTube. So sit back for the next hour and talk guitars and much, much more. So here's your host, Randy. Round two. Round two. All right. So, oh no, everything was muted, and for some odd reason, I couldn't tell that it was muted. So it's unmuted now, so it's all good now. So welcome back to the show on a Wednesday night, as always, and tonight we will talk a few different things. So hopefully you guys are having a good one, as I am. Mitchell, I see Michelle is on here. Kiss Posters is on here as well. Welcome back, Mr. Kiss. Let's see, is this on? I can't tell what's on. I can't even hear it. All right, so yeah. Anyways, the guitar tonight is in drop tune. I don't know what key it's in. I have no idea. I just picked it up and noticed it was actually down in another key. So you guys can hear it. I cannot hear it. It's only in the headphones. I didn't put the headphones on. I can put the headphones on, I guess, I can, and then be able to hear it. But I left them over there. So tonight we'll talk about a few different things. As always, I didn't really come up with a script for tonight. Usually I have a little cheater card that I kind of go off, and I didn't put it up. I don't know if anybody saw the video that was posted today for the Mountain Door Flea Market or swap meet, musician swap meet. I have to make sure I say it correctly. I know it's not a swap meet. It's not a flea market. It's a musician's swap meet. So want to make sure we say it correctly so Big Al doesn't get upset because we didn't say it correctly. Tell people what it actually is. So it is the musician swap meet. So anyways, sorry about that. The mic was in a weird place and I was trying to make sure it got into the right place I wanted to be. So yeah, we went out there and we just watched the Mountain Door video. Well, thank you, Michelle. I appreciate that very much. Yeah, it was a short day out there because it was there wasn't a whole lot out there. We got out there a little late. We played the night before in a place called Flagler. By the way, this past weekend we played the Hilton Hotel, and it was another bizarre gig because there was a football game on, and the bar we aim at this bar, and the bar is right there. And let me turn this light. This light is bugging me. Why that thing goes off? I have this old sensor light that goes off left and right over there, and it drives me nuts. Distracting. So we played this bar, And it's really cool because the bar's here and then everything goes around and they kind of come around and if you ever been on a Carnival or another cruise ship where you have piano bar and you're around the piano bar, that's kind of like what this is. And we really get to play off the people that are in the actual bar, so it's a lot of fun. Well, this past Friday night was the Indiana game, and Indiana, Oregon, I believe it was, and nobody cared about the band that was playing. They had no care. They didn't care about one thing we were doing really. The odd thing is they tipped really well. So I guess they were, uh, interested in what we were doing, but they only showed it through money, not by applause. We had a few people, but for the most part, not as many as we would like. Because we really like to do this thing with kind of a Howl of the Moon or a cruise ship thing where we really bring the audience into the whole thing, where you ask them what kind of music they like and we play something they like and, just do that whole thing. But it didn't work out that way. What do we have here? Have you ever found the Holy Grail at one of those swap meets? No, absolutely not. No, I've never really found anything out there that I went, "Whoa." I think I picked up, let's see, what did I pick up? I picked up a Mose ride out there one time, a Ventures model, Explorer, nothing that I went, "Whoa," too exciting about. My buddy he picked a 54 Les Paul gold top. He got that one morning from a guy, but my buddy that he's out there long before I ever get there. And he has the very first booth that is out there. So if anything's coming in, he's going to get it. So lucky him. And he brings a lot more money than I do. A lot more. He actually, if you watch the video, you'll see him. He is the bigger guy that I talked to at the very end. My buddy Keith, great guy, really great guy. So, and then what did we do? Saturday night we played a place called Tortugas, which is right on the ocean. And this place was a lot of fun. There's a fire pit, and everybody sits around the fire pit and they watch you play. And people were totally into it. I mean, they were just like singing along with us, doing the whole 9 yards. It was a fun gig. I look forward to playing there once again. Um, hopefully next time we'll know how much money they're paying us because we thought they were paying us one amount and ended up being at least $50 shorter than what we usually get. So, uh, Steph could not believe what he saw. I'll leave it at that. You're probably talking about the video. Yeah, the videos there's a lot of fakes in there. There's some other stuff that you just kind of go, "Really?" So, if you haven't seen it, check it out. I appreciate it very much. And like I said, it was kind of a short trip around. So the video is like 15 minutes or something like that. So it's not a really long one, like some of the guitar show ones we do, which are a half hour or so. This one's about half of that, uh, mainly because there just wasn't that much stuff out there uh, because we got there a little bit later. I think. I don't know. I'm not positive about that. I'm just thinking that might have been a reason. I don't know. Maybe they left before I got there. I'm hoping that's what it was because there were a lot of open tables in this thing that normally would be full. So, but there is some stuff. on the video, and we talked to our buddy Daniel, who's at the show, and reminiscing his trip to Asheville, North Carolina, for the Asheville Guitar Show. Saw the swap meet video. Uh, let's see. Wondering if you met your wife at a gig. I met mine 43 years ago at a gig. We've been married 42 years. Wow. Did you find s- the sellers sell the same junk? Yes. I will say some of that. And Steph, you are correct on that comment there. um, so okay, about my wife. Um, I call her my hot wife, which some people say you shouldn't call your wife that. But it's all just depends on how you do that, if you understand the whole term. um, I met my wife. Actually, it was funny. Very first time I met my wife, I met her in, I think, the mall here. Her brother worked for me. I had a record and a guitar shop, and he worked for me for a little bit, and he introduced me to his sister, which I don't remember this. I was think I was like 18 or 19 years old. She was 13, something like that, and she said she instantly fell in love with me at that point. I don't remember her at that point. I mean, maybe because she was only 13 and I was like, in my later teens, and maybe I should be looking at a 13-year-old. Plus, at the time, I was married to another woman. So, but later on, I love doing telling people these stories. I mean, I get a little winded with them. I'm sorry. I give you the whole detail of my whole life story with my wife because I tell you the whole thing. She uh she was not a groupie, although she was a groupie. I'm not gonna say she was a groupie that she came out and see my band. She did come see my band later on, but she worked in a yogurt shop in the plaza later on, uh, where I worked, and I went down to get some yogurt. And at that time, I think she was 21, maybe. So I went and got some yogurt. Noticed this girl was back behind the counter, and I went, this girl's pretty good looking. And I asked her out and took asked her to go dancing at this club in Orlando, to a punk club that I really liked. We used to go to this new wave punk club that you know, had a lot of fun. And she went, and I didn't know she had a boyfriend. I didn't have a wife at that time. I was already, my first marriage lasted like 6 months. It was, that thing called infatuation and a mistake? That's what that was. uh, so, needless to say, I asked her out, and she came back with this. And it's funny that, Trips, you had this with your wife. You've been with her for 43 years, been married 42. My wife, at that point, she knew, I think we both knew that it was love at first sight. And I say that. It was love at first sight. We got to know each other and stuff on a couch, sitting in this bar, and we're just talking and finding out about each other. And then as the night went on, she said, "Great, I really enjoyed this. Really enjoyed this." I said, "Hey, let's go to lunch or whatever." I took her to lunch and did this whole 9 yards thing. And we dated for about 2 weeks. And then she told me about a weekend that she did have a boyfriend. And I said, "Are you gonna leave him? I mean, it's obvious something's going on here." She said, "Yeah." And then one day she didn't show up to the house. And I was like, really like heartbroken. And she called me and told me what was going on, that just couldn't do it. Well, as things happen, years later, uh, we rekindled the whole thing. But the funny thing, I got to tell you about this. This is why she dropped me the first time, first and last time. She said, "I can't date a band guy because I can't trust you." Uh, Little did she know she could trust me. Um, but needless to say, we did rekindle our flame. She hired me to be a DJ at a wedding, and we've been together pretty much since then. So she told me, I did a wedding. She said, "Hey, let's go down. I know you like those Akita dogs. I know a friend that has one of those. We'll go down and pick it up in Jupiter." And that was it. We were done. That's it. We were inseparable from that point. That has been 36 years now. So, all right. What we have, is that my buddy? That is one of my buddies. Awesome. Kind of like the feeling I got when I found my 59 Telecaster. No, not the same. Thank you, Michelle. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I could go along. There's a lot more to the story. One night I will go into the story about what went on between the time of her not being with me, because there's more to the story. There's a lot to it. Um, then eight, then she became Heather Lockley. She loves that when you call her that. She just loves it. I mean, she just when you call me, this is my buddy. By the way, this is my buddy Lex. He lives in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he'll call me sometimes and ask me questions or whatever. Should I buy this? Should I buy that? What do you think of this? And whatever. This guy's got more guitars than I do. Shouldn't have to ask me anything. um, but he'll call me, which I appreciate very much, and I do enjoy talking to him. But he'll call my wife Heather, and it's all about Heather Locklear, and she loves it. She gets a smile on her face because that was like her idol was Heather Locklear. Whether you knew that or not, Lex, but yeah, she loves that. It makes her day. Uh, all right, what we got? Okay, Jerry Maguire. uh, what is this? Awesome. I am so happy that I got fired from my woman. Fired? Is that what that says? That's funny. Trips. I was curious if others met their significant others after playing or attending a show. Does your store sells shirts? Is that right? Is that yes? I do. These shirts. If you call the shop, I will send you one of these. Car Attic on the back, and they're like $25 or so. So, but has anybody else? I Let me just tell you something real quick. Trip, she asked that question about if anybody else met their wives at a show. My wife, I'm just gonna admit it. I'm gonna admit it. Michelle, please don't look bad at me. All right. I was a man whore. Yeah. Let's just say I was a band guy, Yes, when I didn't have a girlfriend, I was a band guy, and it was game on all the time. Anytime I could, I did. So, sorry. But if I didn't have a girlfriend, that way. But if I did have a girlfriend, no, I never cheated on my girlfriend. Never. So, oh god, hey, Slayer, you're perfect because I am in drop tune tonight. Okay, Slayer, slay her, pun intended. Yeah, I definitely slay my wife. Which PRS is that? This is the 89 with the sweet switch. And Mike's in the way. It's caught. Thing is caught under. That's this is a pretty one. It's funny. I'll show you this. I don't think I've ever seen. I have this tape here. This is called Monocoat. You get this from a hobby shop, and they put it on model planes. I actually put this on the back of this so I would not scratch the back of the guitar, and it's got scratches back here. I mean, there are some, but this guitar has been everywhere. I have this is this is this was my main guitar when I was on the road. So it is played all over, I mean, all over the United States and other places as well. So it's a great guitar. It sounds great and I like it. I liked your vid at the flea market. Thank you, damned. I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. So, what was I? Oh, I saw I picked up this guitar to do this. That's the stuff I've been working on. I figured I could do it because the guitar is tuned differently, so I shouldn't get caught because it's not in the right tune. What do we have here? I have a PRS bass from about the same year. Oh, well, that's kind of rare, definitely, because they didn't make a lot of basses back then at all. So that's cool. Excuse me. Excuse me very much. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate that. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Shall I burp again? I didn't mean to. Oops. So yeah, we've had some interesting stuff buying stuff lately. I bought a Gibson Hummingbird. I don't know if I talked about it. I don't think I had that last time I was on the show. And a nice Gibson Hummingbird. And I bought a 59 VOS Wilcott. 59 Gibson VOS historic Wilcott edition, Wilcott spec and all that stuff. Bought that. Okay, so I did talk about the Hummingbird, but I know I did not talk about the VOS. Did not talk about that. So I bought that the other day. Really cool guitar. I'm actually shocked how nice this guitar actually is. It is intonated super super good. I don't know how the heck they got it so intonated. It is spot on. It sounds really good. The pickups that they use in those are really nice. So it's got a really nice top. And needless to say, I don't think it will be there tomorrow or by tomorrow. I think it'll be gone. I've got a guy that played it today and fell in love with it, and I believe it's going to go away, which it should. I shouldn't have this guitar for very long. It's too nice to actually have. So some of the guitars we get that we just you fall in love with them. Luckily, I can't keep any more guitars right now. I have to say no more guitars for me. No more. VOS, you can either call it vintage old stock is what we kind of refer to it, or it could be vintage um, old spec, whichever. So that's what the VOS kind of stands for. And it's just some more reissue. You see a reissue, and a reissue is more of a usually a reissue is not a historic, and it doesn't come out of the custom shop. The VOS and the historics all come out of the custom shop. The reissues usually come out of the regular, they're off the line, and 34 people touched this guitar at one point. Virtual old stock, and not virtual. Just sent you a picture of the PRS bass. Let me see this thing here. Oh, wow. It matches this guitar, Lex. It's got the sweet switch on it and everything. There it is, folks. Doesn't it match my guitar? Isn't that nice? That's nice. Small logo. Yeah. Nice. I need that to go along with my guitar. No, I do not. I know where to find it if I ever need it. Is that in the spare bedroom, or is that actually in the office? Or is that somewhere else? Yeah, you need this guitar, but this is one guitar I will never sell. This guitar actually, I have it in my will that when I die, this guitar will be I'll have the guitar in the case, and my ashes will be put in the case with this guitar. So if you buy this guitar, you have to take me with it. Can you tell us about the worst show you've ever played? Worst show I've ever played. Ooh. Well, it was not. Who was it? Trips last week asking about the swingers clubs and the news colonies I played. It wasn't one of those. Those were actually fun. Worst gig. That's a hard question. I think the worst one I ever did. We played at a place. I can't even remember the name of the place, but we played to nothing but the bartenders. Nobody but the bartenders. I played a couple of these actually, but this one was another one that I've talked about the one, but this one, I mean, it was just, I mean, nobody paid attention. At least the other one, the bartenders clapped, but this one, nobody paid attention, none whatsoever. Bartenders did not care, and we played, and it just nothing. But they still paid us, and I was like, "Thank you very much." Boy, that was a long 4 hours. Yeah, I was in California. Wine mixer? Oh, really? It was it was the California wine mixer. Well, it might as well been. How were the tips? There were no tips. We got no tips at all for that one either. Just straight pay. Nope. The tip bucket was there, but nobody tipped. You know, it's funny. Years ago, and I don't know if anybody remembers this, that I don't think I saw a tip bucket until the mid 2000s for a band. I might have seen it for like a singles act, like in Key West. You would see guys when we were playing down there. There would be guys would have a tip bucket, but you never saw, um, a band. A band never had a tip bucket. Now you go to any club or bar, what restaurant, whatever, everybody has a tip bucket. And now it's getting more and more that we see now. You're seeing more of these just QR codes. I've got friends that actually do this. They do a live stream on YouTube, and I don't know if they do it anywhere else, maybe Instagram, but they'll do a live stream and they actually will say Venmo, blah, 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 blah. So you can watch them play on YouTube or not YouTube, but Facebook. And you hit the QR code and send them a tip that way. I need to ask my buddy that does it all the time. I need to ask him, are you actually making any money on this? Is this really worth doing it? You need to get a $5 wrapped and a written request was it? That was R or was it? Okay. I need to do my glasses, man. I'm tired of I need to these 100s are just not gonna do it. Um I will say this. The doing the tip bucket, putting the money in it and stuff, and people coming up. Now, don't y'all steal my joke now. This is my joke. I'm gonna let you know my joke. And I stole this from my buddy Randy. I'm gonna give him credit for it because I stole it from him. It's not me. I stole it from somebody else, but you don't steal it from me and him because we're pretty good friends. The joke is we say, you know, if you want to request, please, don't tip a dollar bill, don't tip a $5 bill, not $10, but a $20 bill, because there's more room on the back of a 20 to write your request. So tip us with a $20 bill with your request on the back. And the rule is now this is my rule. This is what I say. Mine is it's 4 bars of any song or artist. So you put that on the back of a 20 and you put it in the tip bucket. And if it says you know, let's see, I'm trying to think of something. Give me an idea. Right, tell me a song and maybe or an artist and stuff, and maybe so I can think of something for me. Did you play any of the bars in Jack's in the 80s? Peelers, uh, what was that? Cyril's Elbow? I played Iggy Wannas. Remember that? I played the Freebird. I did play those. I played Riptides. I think that's another place that was in Jack's. So those are a couple places I did play. And there was another place I did play out there, but I do not remember the name of it. And I don't know why I cannot remember the name of this place. And it's bizarre to me because it was the last gig I played before I got married. Let's chip and buy Randy some new readers. Yes, please. All you have to become is a member. Become a member. And if you become a member, it will help me out. So that way you read it in the end of right in the night when you guys are splitting your money. Oh, on a half now. The guy yelling request out. Okay. Ever play Dubs in Gainesville? Absolutely. Played Dubs a lot. I used to play there with a band called The Suspects, and I played there with Einstein Zach. Played there when it became the Junction. I used to play the Florida Theater as well. Played there. I will tell you that was a weird gig. The last time I played there, Farrell Elbow Room is what I meant to say. A lot of groups played there back in the day. I don't remember. I don't know if we played that place or not. There are places I do not remember. I hate to say it. The Power Station. Yes, I played there. I do remember that. Or are you asking about the band? You definitely need new glasses. I know, Brian. I do. I agree. Hey, man, the Fort Lauderdale Elbow Room. Yes, I did play there, and yeah, I did play in the Elbow Room. Played there, and I played. Let's see, what is that place called? I have to look at the ticket. I have a ticket up there on the wall from one of the shows we played this place. Oh, what's that place called? Oh, Rosebuds. Anybody remember Rosebuds? That was in Fort Lauderdale. And it played the Candy Store as well. Did you have any funny Yngwie Malmsteen stories? I do have a story about Yngwie, but the Candy Store, that was another one. Did play that one. The Candy Store. And there's another place we played down there in Fort Lauderdale. I can't remember, but yeah, there's actually two other places. Greetings from Poland. Wow, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Poland. Wow. You love my music. Are you meaning my Einstein's Attic stuff? Because that is popular overseas. Funny stories about Yngwie Malmsteen. I'll tell you the story. This was a buddy of mine who actually played with Kansas and with Carrie, the singer from Kansas. He did that album with him. He got to know Yngwie pretty well. They were hanging out all the time. They were sitting one day, and Yngwie kind of had a little thing about people not playing around him, playing music besides him. They don't want him playing guitars or anything. Well, they got, they were chums and stuff. And so he picked up the guitar and doing something, probably a lot better than I did. But he did that, and Yngwie said, "Leave, get out." He said, "Why?" "I don't want you playing my guitars. I don't want you playing around me. I don't want to hear you play. Leave." And he goes, "Are you kidding me?" He goes, "No, I'm not kidding. Leave now." So Yngwie kicked him out of the house, never talked to him again. Well, he did talk to him when he called him back the next day, and he said, "Hey, man, what was up with that?" He goes, "Doesn't matter. We're not friends anymore." So, yeah, that's kind of wild, huh? Yngwie showed his colors, I guess, that day with my buddy Dave. So. I need to find out. Let me see something, guys. Did my pitch go up there? I can't hear. Remember, I can't hear this. So you guys tell me, did my pitch go up? I mean, my pitch higher now? Does it move here? Go down? Go up? Okay, cool. All right, so, all right. Okay, what was that song? Anybody know? What do I think about touring bands or bands touring as the real thing? Are you talking about bands like Molly Hatchet and bands like that, or actually or Foreigner? I assume that's the only ones I know of that are actually really full on out there doing that, because Foreigner has nobody in the band. Yeah, there's nobody in the band. There's nobody in Molly Hatchet. Way I look at, I mean, that Foreigner thing, I saw them a couple times, but they did have, you know, one time they had two members, the other time they had one. The guitar player was finally the last guy that was out there. And the last time I saw them, he only played probably half of the show. Now I know they're out there now. Yeah, there's nobody in Leonard Skinner anymore. That's another one too. I forgot about that. Nobody's gone. Yeah, that's another one. Now, when I saw them, or actually, we did a show with them, and there was only one guy left in the band when we did that. So Gary Rossenden was the last one. But yeah, and what you can now, Ricky Medlock will go back and he'll say, "Listen, I was in Leonard Skinner when they first formed the band. I left the band, so I'm actually technically a original member of Leonard Skinner." So can we say he was not on any record, but he was actually a member of the band one time? So yeah, he'll argue with that. I say you no, you weren't. You didn't do it with the song, so you're not a member. But if people want to pay the money to go see these guys, that's your decision. I mean, they are cover bands, and do I think they need to be getting the money that they're getting for this? No. I think they should be paid just like any other tribute act. So, uh, that's BS. He played drums. Really? I didn't know that. Huh. 38 Special. No, 38 Special still has the original singer. So they're still out there. You still have one member. So that they've got a great guitar player, Jerry Riggs, man. Great guy, great guitar player. Love Jerry. Jerry's one of those guys. Got great hair too. I am saying you are correct. Oh, I am correct. Yes. Thank you. Well, thank you very much, Lex. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. Thank you for saying I am correct. But yeah, I don't feel that the cover bands, cover tribute bands, whatever you want to say, with these Foreigner and Molly Hatchet, they shouldn't be paid that you're going to see the real thing. I mean, they're going to play all the same songs and stuff, and a lot of them do sound exactly like the real thing, but they're not the real thing. And I don't feel like they should be paid the money. I mean, I saw there's a tour going around. Actually, Leonard Skinner is actually going to be here. Uh, they are playing for the night before the Daytona 500 with Bert Kreischer. I don't know how you say that guy's name. The comedian guy, super funny guy, one of my favorites. Him and a couple country acts are playing. Leonard Skinner, the two country acts, and him are doing. I guess they're doing multiple stages in the Ocean Center, which is a small venue. I don't know how they're doing this, but this lady was explaining it to me yesterday. I was like, "Really?" because she was asking me if I wanted to play the night before Rockville, and I said, "I really don't think my band would work for Rockville." I mean, Rockville is the largest or one of the largest rock festivals in the country, and I don't think they're going to, you know, like, a band going, yeah, I just don't think, yeah, I don't think they're gonna get into that. I just don't. Let's go back down. By the way, the song you guys missed was Britney Spears. Yeah, that was Summer of '69. Yes. Yeah, I just don't see the Rockville guys that are going to see Pierce the Veil or um, Bullet for My Valentine getting into a band playing Brian Adams or Rick Springfield or Tom Petty, that type of stuff. Yeah. I don't, you know, they might get into when we do the, anyways, yeah, they might get into us doing the hymn version of Wicked Game. They might get into that. That's about it. I don't even think they would get into the Bush stuff we do. Him. I like those guys. I always have. I remember it's funny, the guitar player for Martina McBride turned me on to those guys. I'd never heard of him, and he came in the shop and got to know him pretty well, and goes, "Hey, have you ever heard this band, Him?" Like, he goes, "Here, I'll give you the CD." And he gave me the CD, and I listened to it, all the time. No, Steph, I'm not going to do it. No, I have no desire to go out there and play with a bunch of other bands going. Yeah, just doing drop. I mean, I'm probably not even dropped far enough. You should join a Beach Boys cover band. You know that I already did that. Not even funny. I already did that. I'm pretty good at that. Thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. It is down. It's down, but it's not far enough down. I need to go down another 2 steps. Also, I need some tracks behind me because I don't know if you guys have watched this, like some of these uh, newer bands that are out there. You know, I'm not going to name any names, but a lot of these newer bands are out there are all using tracks. They can't do any of this stuff live. I don't know why. When I was growing up, we played the songs and the bands. I mean, when you went to see Van Halen played. Went to see Journey, they played. Ted Nugent, he played. Yeah, all these bands played, but these these bands now, they go out there and they've got tracks doing stuff behind them, because on the record there was 3 guitars. We only have 1 guitar player. So we got to have 2 other guitar players playing with us, or whatever, or keyboards. And, we have to have keyboards, and they just can't do it. Yes, Michelle, new music is definitely different. Wouldn't it be nice in drop D? Would wouldn't it be nice? Yeah. I cannot stay in the standard tuning, let alone drop tunings. I actually, most of my guitars, except for this guitar, this guitar is actually, well, now it's in drop D. This is what it actually sounds like. So watch this. So it's actually in standard pitch. Didn't want to say. I think the reason my guitar didn't want to stay there is because the most of my guitars stay in the half step down. Does it still sound down? No, it shouldn't be. I don't know why I can't get these headphones to work. Let me see if I can hear out of these. Because I can't hear it. No. I got no headphones. So, I don't know. I have to check those out. I don't know what's going on. No headphones. Oh well. Yeah, the headphones are plugged in, but they're not working. Believe it or not, those headphones, I've had those headphones for, I hate to admit this, probably 4 years. These I no, oh no, these are not the ones I thought that. These are the Shure ones. So these actually I've had for a while. I thought these were the other headphones. I have some headphones I do use. They are easy. They're 40 years old. They're from Radio Shack. And somebody's probably going, What's Radio Shack?" My friend there from Poland. Did you guys ever had Radio Shacks in Poland? I cannot look at what I read. Okay, I got a Roland Strat that has a setting for different. Yeah, that was the Robo Strat that they did kind of thing. Yeah, VG Strat, I think, or no, it wasn't a VG Strat. It was another one that did different tunes, had 12 strings and stuff like that. The Roland Ready Strat. Yeah, it did have. Yeah, it was ready to do that stuff. They don't last anymore. No, they don't. They definitely do not. I miss Radio Shack. Yeah. Radio Shack had it all. I know. If you needed a 1.5 fuse for something. I need a 1.5 fuse. Go to Radio Shack, pull the drawer out and go bloop. Got it. Yeah. Yeah, I miss those days too. It says that those headphones are not 4 years old. They are made in the 2000s. Yeah, they are. Brian, they definitely are. Radio Shack was great. I miss that store. Trip says that. Get it, the Shack. Yeah, Steph. Yeah, we got it, the Shack. Shredding fun. I bought lots of caps there. Yes, we all did. Lex says Radio Shack was great. It's funny talking about Radio Shack. I mean, it was not the same at the end by far. They had cell phones. Honestly, it wasn't the same. They had lost their whole thing. It was so cool when it was a cool place. You could go in there and just get whatever, just kind of weird stuff. Um, and then it died. It sucks. Where the heck do we Americans buy a 1K resistor anymore with Radio Shack gone? eBay? What headphones work well with your quad cortex? Really, any headphones work. And I really haven't found anything that doesn't sound good with them. Yes. Subscribe and let the channel, let's take this channel to the next level. That's right. We're trying to aim to, we're 3530 now. At least that's what we were this morning. I do want to get to at least 10,000 this next year. Over this year, I want to get to 10,000. I don't understand why this channel is not there right now. I really haven't figured that out. I have other friends that are doing the same thing I'm doing, and they're just not toot my own horn, but I don't think they're as entertaining as I am. I think they're a little bit too nerdy. I mean, you can be nerdy all day long. I sit here and just talk about, well, these strings, the D'Addario XT strings. I use a 9 gauge string. This is this is a 46 or a 42 up here. And I play, there's a 9 down here. Now, all guitars are tuned to standard pitch. The intonation is set here. I could do this all day long, but do I want to do? I don't think that's very entertaining. I really don't. I just don't get that whole thing. So, and Steph is building a guitar for the raffle that we're going to do to try to get more subs for the show. Radio Shack transitioned from electronics parts store to a consumer electronics store. Yeah, that's exactly, and that killed them. It couldn't compete as a consumer electronics store. No, I mean, yeah, when they were trying to, Radio Shack was trying to do that, Circuit City was coming onto the scene. Circuit City pretty much ruled the world at that point. Then you had Best Buy come in, and later on H.H. Gregg, which I think they're gone now completely, just like Radio Shack. Yeah, I mean, there's Radio Shack. They're not. Circuit City's the other one's gone as well. I thought it was kind of interesting that Circuit City was actually owned by the same people that own CarMax. Did you know that? That was bizarre to me. So just like Mars was Mars Music, if you guys remember that, Mars was actually owned by Office Depot. The same guy that owned Office Depot owned that. So, well, now you do, Michelle. You know. By the way, I want to give a shout out to my buddy Gary out there watching in TV land. Gary said he does not watch the show on YouTube, or he watches on YouTube, but he watches it through his TV. So he can't hit the thumbs up button that, you guys you're way behind tonight. We got 21 people in here right now. We've had way more than that throughout the night. We only have 16 thumbs up. So if you haven't hit the thumbs up, please hit the like button and help us out. Tandy. Yeah, the Tandy Corporation. One of those big corporations that did not survive. So we got to 17 likes. So. Everybody talking all this stuff about me. Why you want? Don't steal my ideas now. I'm doing a heavy rock version of that, please. We had a Mars in college. It was gone when I graduated, but it was fun. Lex is getting out of here. Good night, everyone. See you in Asheville. Yes, you will see me in Asheville. We'll have our booth up there as always. I wish we had the show in Charlotte so I could come on and hang out with you again. It sucks. Hey, I forgot the thumbs up, so I just did it. Thank you, Brian. I do appreciate that very much. Um, yes, Kiss. It was Bobby Brown. By the way, I think Bobby has might have there's a little whiteness on his nose. Maybe left over from the 80s or 90s. I don't know. Mars was Tim Crummer. Yeah, he was there at one point. I know. But you know the funny thing about New Edition, Bobby, and the New Edition. Funny thing about Mars, Mars kind of destroyed a lot of stuff. I mean, Mars between them and Guitar Center, they made it where it was good that you could go in there and play these guitars. It was great. But what people don't realize is when you go to these places and you play all these guitars, they become used guitars. Why would you want to? I was talking to a guy the other day about this. It was kind of funny that we were talking. He said he went out to the Guitar Center locally and he said, I went out and I picked up a guitar and it was all dinged up. It looked used, yet it was still the same price as it was going to be for a guitar that had no dings or anything on it. And I don't get it. Mars kind of started that whole thing. It was like, come play it, check it out. If I wanted to buy a used guitar, I'd go to a shop like me that has used guitars. And I'm pretty sure most of my used guitars are probably in better shape than the new guitars at one of the GCs. And not all their guitars are like that, but they're, most of those bottom rack guitars along the bottom there, those bottom two that you can just pull off, a lot of those are pretty well banged up. You buy a used amp from them or a new amp from them. How many kids have tried that amp out? If you've had that amp on your floor for 2 months and some kid has played that guitar all day long for 2 months, is that amp still new? Especially if it's the last one you got. Maybe you got one in the back in the box that you can get. But if it's the last one on the floor, you're trying to sell it as new, yet it's been on the floor for 2 months, and every kid in town has already played through that. Just saying that, just go ahead and buy used. Come into the Guitar Attic, 1672 and a half Ridgewood Avenue, just north of Flomage's beautiful North Holly Hill. And I'll sell you a beautiful used guitar that's in probably better shape than new. Yeah, the Gibson Garage. Yeah, everybody's played those guitars as well. Are they new? No, they're not new. Not to me, they're not. At my local GC, all the high-end guitars are hung on the bottom now. Oh my God, are you kidding me, Casey? Oh, that's a bad mistake. Hey, Mom, let's go to GC so I can play the guitars. Honey, you're only 11. Doesn't matter. Here, look, I learned how to play. How'd I do, Mom? Hey, look, this guitar is only $4,000 and they had it on the bottom rack. uh, yeah, if you can get them off the back, if they're still there. I know I'm a dinosaur, but when I was a teen, you didn't touch anything in a music store without permission. That is pretty much the way my shop is as of today. You still ask. Unless it's on the if it's on the floor, it's kind of fair game. But the stuff that was on the rack. You ask. I'm not a multi-billion dollar corporation like GC is, or some of these other places that are multi-millionaire people. I am a hundredaire. I am a little guy that gets by every month, whatever, does my thing, and I'm good with that. I'm there to give you customer service that you don't get at the other places. I answer the questions, we talk stuff, and I unfortunately I've been more of a question answer than I am a seller. No, actually lately it's been pretty good. People are buying stuff, so I'm happy with that. And not a bad right hand for day one. Yeah. How about this one, Mom? I learned how to do this little thing, does this strum thing. Look, Mom, I learned how to do pinch harmonics. Okay, have I got it? Oh, there's one. I almost got it. Mom, I hit her pinch harmonic. Yeah, God, a Gibson Supreme on the bottom shelf of. Sure, it wasn't a Gibson. My first song down in the Valley, Mel Maybook. Yeah, that's funny. No GC. Yeah, we didn't have GCs back then. Just bought a used 2007 Gretsch Electromatic. It's funny you talk about the Gretsch things. They have kind of fallen out. We were talking about this actually out at the Mount Doris swap meet. Gretches used to be, they were hot. I mean, probably 8 years ago, they were hot. I mean, we put a Gretsch in the store, it go away, like gone. Now we put them out, they sit for a while. And I finally, as I finally figured out why that is. And it is because the church people, they were huge with the churches. All the churches, every guitar player you go to a church, they all had Gretches. Every one of them had a Gretsch. Whether it was an Electromatic or actual way, a Japan one, they all had one. And now churches don't have, they have Telecasters and stuff. Those are popular with them now. Let's see what else got here. You make sure that you are taking care of and helps with your needs. Yes, that's what I do. Try to help out with you. Yeah, so you got nice thin Gretsch, awesome. They're good guitars. There's nothing wrong with them. Definitely. I'm in a hotel in Asheville with a 1960 Gretsch Tennessean right now. Really? I believe that, Lex. What are you doing in Asheville though? I have a Starfire custom hollow body. It's nice, but it's like driving a huge Cadillac. Oh, the Starfires. I like those guitars. The ones from the '60s. I really enjoyed them. PRSs are now popular in churches as well. Are they actually core models or are they SE models? That's the difference. One is $4,000, the other one's $400. chord models. Well, of course, because all the musicians in the churches all have day jobs, and they go up there and play for free at the churches. Don't get me started with that whole thing again. I've already ran my whole thing about the not paying musicians in churches. My main church guitar is a SE. I have nothing but good things to say about the SEs. SE guitars. I actually have a couple myself. My backup guitar, my Johnny Highland, is an SE, which I've had it on the channel here. The one I call the Aruba Blue one. Yeah, I love that guitar. It's a nice guitar. Just put some locking tuners on it. I'm going to play it on Saturday night. I will be playing out Saturday night at Ruby Street Grill. Actually, tomorrow night I'm at Hard Rock. But Saturday night I'm at Ruby Street Grill in Tavares. It is an outdoor gig. It is forecast to be in the low 30s. Not looking forward to this one, folks. The Beatles triggered the move from mostly handmade guitars to these produced guitars. Really? I did not know that. Did not know that at all. That's something I did not know. Did you learn that off of ChatGPT? All right, what we got here? Let's see. My PRS Paul Alexander model. That's a good guitar with the bats. Yep. I like those. Those are cool guitars. I don't know if I could play one because I don't know if I could figure out the whole bat thing. That might throw me off. I've had those in the shop before. I've sold a couple of those. They are for a certain person by, whatever standards. But anyways, all right. Wow, it's past my bedtime, folks. Did you realize that I've gone past my 1 hour? And before I know, they're going to cut the power down in here in the station and cut me off, so I don't make it to 5,000 miles like I normally can do. Yes, CBS bought Fender, Norton bought Gibson. Yeah, back then, that's right, they did. I remember that. I forgot that. Yeah, you are correct about that, Lex. But yeah. So Michelle, thank you for watching. And if you haven't seen the video, guys, just put it out. The Mountain Door Show is up there, and you guys can watch that. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Become part of the channel. Help me out. It helps a brother out. Remember, I have a wedding to pay for coming up in October. I need all the money I can get to pay for that wedding. I'm already $12,000 in debt as we speak. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. Serious. Really? You're gonna be that way, are you? Well, you know what it means.
You've been watching Randy's Guitar Attic on YouTube. If you like tonight's show, please hit the like and subscribe button. Until next week, so long from the Sunshine State.